Working Fans Podcast. Cool.
Yep.
All right, here we go. Coming down 3, 2.
Welcome back for another week of the Working Fans Podcast. This is AJ. I'm the former wrestler. We've got Dave, the ultimate fan, here with us. As we do every week, our producer Joe likes to make us sound good and makes us look way more professional than we actually are. As always, you can find us on Twitter, that's @FansWorking, Facebook, Working Fans Pod. We've got email where you can reach out to us and please contact us to let us know what you think of the podcast and for any ideas that you might have. That's workingfanswrestlingpod@gmail.com. We're on Instagram where you can keep up with us at workingfanswrestling_pod. And then you can now listen to us on all major platforms, including Anchor.fm. We're on Google Podcasts, Spotify, Breaker, Overcast, Pocket Casts, Radio Public, Apple Podcasts, and you can actually check us out on YouTube. Now, it's important when you go onto the Apple Podcasts and YouTube, hit that subscribe button, give us a rating, let us know what you think so you can help us out and we can continue to do what we love and bring you guys in as fans.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Danny Limelight, and you listening to the Working Fan Podcast. Bet on it, B.
It's the Working Fans Podcast here. We got Joe, myself, Dave, and we got wrestler, actor, stuntman, and he's got a few other credits I'm going to get into. Mr. Danny Limelight. Danny, how are you, sir?
What's going on, baby?
Man, you have quite the interesting resume when I was looking you up, man. I'm pretty impressed.
Thank you, man. I try to, I try to be very diverse, Swiss Army knife.
Yeah. Well, all right, so that brings me to my first question then. You were also a Marine. Are you or were a Marine? What's your status?
So I was in the Marine Corps for 10 years. I got out of the service in October, so. But, once a Marine, always a Marine is what they say. But, yeah, I'm no longer serving. I did 10 years active duty. I joined when I was 17, going on 18, and, yeah, that was where my life started, really.
What got you into the Marines?
I was a shithead, so I didn't really have much going for me. I had got out of 2 high schools, and I had to go finish my senior year in the school way further than where I was raised at. And I was playing baseball throughout my high school years and as a child, so I wanted to be shortstop for the New York Yankees, and when everything happened right, I got into school, I couldn't play baseball my senior year. It kind of threw off my plan. And I had nothing else going for me really, and a friend of mine kind of tricked me into joining the Marine Corps. He told me that if I went with him to this recruiting station, he'll buy me pizza. And I was like, all right, cool, bro, I'm down for a slice of pizza. So I went with him, and there was a recruiter there. He started talking to me about the Marine Corps. And I was like, I don't know anything about the Marine Corps. All I know is I say Call of Duty, and the Marines are in the video game. And I didn't know any difference between, the Army or the Navy or the Marines. I thought it was all the same, And I think a lot of people look at it that way. So basically, this, Marine Corps recruiter, he pretty much told me that I couldn't be a Marine, that I wasn't fit enough to be a Marine, and all this stuff. And I basically just took it as a challenge, and he told me he wouldn't enlist me. And so I walked up the office, and I went to go walk across the street to the Army recruiting station. And this Army guy, this soldier, he came out of the office, and he was smoking a cigarette, and he had his cell phone in his hand. And I looked at him, and I looked back at the Marine who was looking, all sharp in his uniform, and it just looked, professionalism level just was, so different. And I just turned back around. I walked back into the recruiting station, and I said, I'm going to join the Marine. And the next day, my mom came to the office with my dad. They signed the paperwork because I was 17. I needed a finisher. And, 6 months after that, I was in South Carolina becoming a Marine.
You're a busy guy, man, because you were training somewhere around this time to be a wrestler. How did you break in, but also what got you into wrestling?
Okay, so I've always been a wrestling fan. I want to say always. I started watching wrestling, and I stopped watching it, right after Eddie Guerrero had passed away. And, I was just a fan of it. It's something that I had always wanted to do, but it was you don't know how to get into something like that. And so I was in the Marines, and I went to Target with my daughter. She was just born. She was maybe 4 or 5 months, and she was sitting in the car at Target. And she we got stopped by the Blu-ray section because at the time I was collecting all these Blu-rays and stuff. And I was looking for a Blu-ray, and she smacked the shelf. and like a bunch of Blu-rays fell down. And I don't know how she had this much strength before she was 5 months or whatever. But I ended up walking over towards to pick up the Blu-ray she knocked out, and the Rock's Blu-ray, like the Rock's top 10 greatest matches of all time or something like that, was one of the Blu-rays that was on the floor. And I was like, I felt a little nostalgic. I hadn't watched wrestling in years since I had joined the Marine Corps, and this was about 2014 actually. And I picked up the Blu-ray. It was like $10.99. I bought it. I went home and I put my daughter in like a little boppy, like a little seat for baby, and I put the Blu-ray on. I just sat there. I think my ex-wife at the time, her mom, she was like cooking dinner or something like that. And me and my daughter was just watching The Rock, wrestle like Mankind or wrestle like Triple H. I think it was like his WrestleMania 17 match with Austin. Like all these matches were on the Blu-ray, and I was like, man, that's pretty cool. Like my daughter's mom, she was like, I never seen wrestling, and I was like, really? I was like, all right, cool. So like I looked up online to see like when the next time WWE was going to be in town, because I thought it'd be like a cool date just to go, watch them,
Yeah.
And when I pulled up, I was watching the show, and a buddy that I was in the Marine Corps with, he ran into me, and at the time I was a sergeant. And he was like, Sergeant, I didn't know you like wrestling. And I was like, I used to watch it when I was younger, and I kind of, hadn't watched it in a very long time, blah, blah, blah. And he was like, well, I'm trained to be a wrestler. And at first, like, I laughed. I thought it was funny because, like, you don't really hear that. I'm trained to be a pro wrestler. People think wrestling, they think, collegiate level. They think Olympic wrestling, weight divisions. And when I've known about wrestling, but I never knew what independent wrestling was. All I knew was WWE, WCW, and TNA. I didn't know about New Japan. I didn't know about Ring of Honor or the independent wrestling companies out there either. I didn't know any of that stuff.
Right.
So he told me he was training. I laughed. He said, no, at the time I was a first-degree black belt martial art instructor in the Marine Corps martial arts program. And so I was teaching the martial arts program, basically like close quarter combat stuff. And he said, you do this and that, and you're very fit. And you should come check it out, man. I think you'd be good, He gave me the address. I laughed, and I ended up showing up like 2 weeks later to the address he gave me just out of like the whim. And this company, which I'm not going to mention because I just don't associate with them no more, and I don't want to give them any kind of clout off my name. But they were there training, and there was a bunch of people in the ring, and some of them were fat and skinny and all shapes and sizes, and there was like maybe 1 or 2 athletic people there, and it was just like a weird group of people training, and I was like, man, if these guys could do it, like I could do it for sure. And I talked to the promoter. He was kind of a douchebag. He didn't think that I could do it, and I was like, look, he didn't take my money pretty much. Like, either let me train or not. And he said, yeah. And then 3 months into training, I made my debut, and this was in October of 2014. I made my debut, and the rest was pretty much history from there. I started wrestling in August of. I started training in August of 2014. Had my first debut in October of 2014, and then I went on to wrestle for about 2.5 years. Then I had to take a break because I was still in the Marine Corps, and I got selected to go be a drill instructor. And so I went to go make Marines in MCRD San Diego, and I had no time. I didn't have time for my daughter. I went through a divorce, a bunch of stuff like that had happened, and then when I got done being a drill instructor, I just thought, you know what, like, I want to go back into wrestling. I had missed it. I seen a lot of my friends getting signed and doing big things, and I was like, man, I just want to be a part of that again, And I got back into the ring in January of 2018 after stepping away at the end of 2016. So about 2 years I stepped away. And, yeah, man, I kicked back off January 2018. I was training with, Lil Trono and Mariachi Loco. And I was training with, I had made a couple of stops at a couple of other little spots around the area. I was Santino's a few times with Dozen James. Trained with Los Luchas in Santino camp. I started training with Jake Atlas. He would come train with me. I started training with Jungle Boy.
Oh, yeah.
Like little one-on-one lessons. Not lessons, I would say. Like one-on-one training sessions, with Jake and Jungle Boy. I started training with Luchasaurus. And then I started training at Burbank, and I met, this guy named Jim Logan. He was a wrestler way back when who had a ring in his prop. He did, like, props for movies and stuff like that, and I had just got his son and acting and stuff, so that's how we kind of connected. And when he had a wrestling ring, he was looking for wrestlers. I started going there to train because it was like 10 minutes from my house, and that's where I met Damian Sandow and John Morrison. And John really helped me step my game up, and it was because of meeting John that, he put me in his movie. I got to go do the movie with him in Florida, The Speed of Time, which is coming out soon, where I got to do stunts, all the fighting and stuff like that for that movie. And yeah, man, it's been like a roller coaster the last 2 years.
Yeah, sounds it, man. Super busy. You're a really good talker. Have you always been good with the gift of gab, or is that something you worked at?
I think that's a Brooklyn thing,
Okay.
Growing up, my dad had a mouthpiece on him always, and I kind of got my street smarts and the way I talked to my dad, and started trying to bullshit, and that's my way to life as a kid, talking my way out of detention or talking my way out of whatever. And I watched a lot of, The Rock is my favorite wrestler.
Yeah.
And maybe he's the best wrestler in everybody else's time, but to me, like, The Rock had everything. He had the cool music. He had the catchphrases. He was good with the microphone. He had entertaining moves in the ring, even though they weren't cool stuff. Like, his matches were entertaining to me.
Yeah.
And, The Rock was just, then he started doing Hollywood. That's something that I had always wanted to do, be an actor and do stunts and stuff like that. And so, like, I watched a lot of The Rock, so the funky things, The Rock, I like boxing, and my favorite boxer was Mayweather. He had to bump on him, too. Like, New York rappers talk a lot of shit, so I kind of just, like, it's a New York thing, I would say.
I gotcha.
I actually got to step in with a quick question since you mentioned New York rappers. Who's your favorite rapper that comes from the New York area?
Couldn't be Jay-Z.
No, king of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Jay-Z's my favorite rapper. I mean, when I was younger, I liked 50 Cent. I liked 50 Cent's music. It was like real gangster rap, and it was just, when I was in 6th, 7th grade, 5th grade, like 50 Cent was, his music, his album, Get Rich Back Trying, was like the album. You used to listen from start to finish, and so I listened to a lot of him, but as I started getting a little bit older, I started listening to a lot more Jay-Z, because I liked that he was a businessman. I like how he handled business, and his song, he's a legend himself, So yeah, I think if you listen to my iPod or my playlist, not even an iPod, I don't think anybody has an iPod anymore. But if you listen to my playlist, it's like Jay-Z, Biggie Small, 50 Cent, and there's a lot of other new rappers and stuff like that. But it's mostly like Jay-Z. I have a lot of Drake. I have a lot of Spanish music. I like Spanish music. Mark Anthony's my favorite. So I mix it up. I listen to all types of music. And then when my daughter's in the car, we listen to the Disney playlist, High School Musicals and Frozen songs, all these things. And then she goes like,
I gotcha. That's awesome.
Yeah. Jay-Z is something else because, like he said, he's not just a businessman, he's a businessman. And
he's a man of his business, man.
And just hearing him over the years, his newest record, the 444, it was just another side of him, and you get to see that this guy is just super multifaceted.
You know what's crazy? I've been to 2 concerts my whole life. I went to Lil Wayne's Carter 3 tour in 2009, right before I went to boot camp. And the second and opening concert I went to was Jay-Z's 444 tour in 2017, and that concert was bananas.
Wow. Yeah, just when you mentioned New York hip-hop, I had to jump in there because I'm a fan of all that 90s era stuff, but even a newer group like Flatbush Zombies got me, so I just had to get in that question about hip-hop real quick.
Definitely, man. I like New York music is great. I like Fabulous. I like Nas, Jada Kiss, Dipset back in the day was like a cool group to listen to.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, God, I was just listening to Cameron Sports, Drugs, and Entertainment yesterday, and just that older Dipset Cameron stuff. I can't get enough of the beats, the rhymes. They're just the best.
His beats has always been great, man.
What's funny is Joe went off on the hip-hop, and my mind went into boxing. Because when I grew up, I'm a little older, and you're a Mayweather guy. I grew up, I'm 43, I grew up on the Sugar Ray Leonard, Marvin Hagler, and that kind of era of boxing. And so I was going to ask you, do you still keep up with boxing? Because I had dipped away, and I started getting into it again right around a couple years ago during the first Wilder Fury fight. Really captured my attention.
Okay. Well, when I was growing up, my dad always watched boxing. We used to go to my aunt's house all the time for the boxing fight, and my dad was a huge Felix Trinidad fan.
Oh, yeah.
The Puerto Rican guy, Tito Trinidad. We watched a lot of him. We watched a lot of Tyson. Mm-hmm. And my dad started, getting me into boxing when I was younger and stuff like that. And Mayweather was my guy. Mm-hmm. And it was more like the pretty boy Floyd era. But he was actually,
Oh, yeah.
knocking, like fighting, you know. Like, now, I mean, I haven't lost. If anything, I have more respect for Mayweather now. He owns the game. He knows how to do it.
Right.
He knows how to win. And people don't like to fight, but he does it to make money, and that's what he's great at. But I started watching it a lot more because of Mayweather. I liked Miguel Cotto or Miguel Cotto because he was Puerto Rican, you know. And even Danny Garcia. I don't know if you know him.
Danny Swift Garcia. I just watched the fight with him.
Yeah. That boy Swift from Philly was another guy I like to watch. But if you bring up Tyson Fury, I had the chance to meet him in October when I was doing my little WWE extra work or whatever. We got to chat real quick with the Gypsy King. Got a cool little picture with him. He's great people, man. And honestly, I know a lot of people have a lot of controversial opinions over this last fight. But I think Fury got him, man. I think he did, and I think he's one of the best heavyweight boxers out there. He's a big dude too, man. He's big.
It amazed, like, that fight surprised me. The way he brought it, like, he said he was going to do it, and I just didn't think. I thought, no way, not the way Wilder knocks people out, but no, he did. He leaned on him, and I was like, holy shit.
And people were sleeping on him because of him doing a little WWE spit and stuff like that, and they're like, oh, he ain't training as hard as Wilder because he's playing with WWE, but that man came in there, he came in ready.
Jumping around a little bit, that was something I thought about. You said WWE. You had a couple cameos with the WWE, right?
I have, yeah. In June was my first time doing any kind of work with them, and I had a tryout match there in Texas, and I got to, bring Alexa Bliss coffee on her little Moment of Bliss show. She's a great person, by the way. I love her.
She seems like a sweetheart, yeah.
She was a sweetheart. And then it's funny because, like, we chopped it up again this last time that I was there in October, so it was like 2 months after, and like, she still remembered me. Like, she's just great people. So that same night that I brought Alexa Bliss coffee, I ended up being Goldberg's security guard, too.
Oh, good.
That was I think that was my favorite one. I mean, I had fun with the Moment of Bliss because a lot, it was a lot of TV time, and it was cool to drink up the coffee. But the nostalgia of walking Goldberg out after watching him as a kid was to me that was sick.
Did you do the conga line too, or no?
I did do the conga line.
Oh, you did? Okay.
I did the conga line for No Way Jose.
No way, Jose. No way, Jose. No way, Jose.
And recently, I was the Mark fan of the crowd for Shane versus Kevin Owens when Kevin Owens played Shane Packin. They had his place. They had his place there with the ladder, so they take the ladder broke and stuff like that. No fans got hit with it, but they also told us to mark out for things. And it was the 20th anniversary of SmackDown. He the frog splash on the ladder. I'm there marking out, and the camera got me going crazy. So
now what?
It was fun.
I'll back up a little bit because I meant to ask you this. What got you into being a black belt, in karate? How did that come about?
Well, I was always a boxer, and I never had any ground game. I never had any submission work or anything like that. But the Marine Corps, they have martial arts, so I use that as a tool. So if I'm in here, I might as well take advantage of the crap to offer. So I went to the martial arts program, became a black belt, and then I went to the instructor's course to be able to teach and train. And I did that, and I trained 632 Marines in the Marine Corps martial arts program, just helping them advance in their belt levels and stuff like that. And that kind of just something that I did to just be more ready for whatever, in their fight. And I think that when I first started wrestling, I wanted to do all the crazy, flippy, flying stuff because I'm super athletic. I do parkour and all that stuff like that. And I'm okay with throwing my body around because I trust it way too much. But lately, I've been just operating what I really am, which is a striker, the grappler, and I've been choking people out and kicking people in the face, and find that's a lot easier on my body too,
That background, is that how you and Douglas James kind of clicked a little bit too? Because he had recommended you, and he obviously has that fighting background too.
DJ's my roommate actually.
Okay.
He and I met in the summer of 2015. We met, and we was in a triple threat match at the pre-show. So the pre-show, the match before the show supposedly actually starts, at an SCW show in San Diego. That company's no longer around, but that's where we met. We had a triple threat match, and I knew he was good from the beginning. He was it was one of his first matches too, and I was still on my first year of wrestling. And from there, we wrestled again 1-on-1 in October, and we kicked off this little rivalry thing because we were both the hottest up and comers that year for the rookies. We were both Rookie of the Year candidates, him and I. And we just started wrestling everywhere. And we got into this amazing feud down in San Diego. And Conan had came to the show and seen me and Doug wrestle in the 2 out of 3 falls match. It was insane. Actually, if you look at that match up on YouTube, it's like Danny Limelight versus Douglas James, 2 out of 3 falls. It was so long ago, and him and I were so young and had just started. But the match was just so dope. And like the crowd was insane. And Conan saw the match. He brought me and Doug to wrestle in Mexico 1-on-1 at the Crash. And this we made our Tijuana debut. 25,000 people at the Crash. And I think the main event for that card was like Rey Mysterio when he was still in the Indies, and Lince Dorado was there, and it was like, you know, Pentagon and Phoenix and Ray Horus, and it's like, whoa, like, here we are, like a year and a half in, and we were like opening the show in front of 5,000 people. I had never wrestled in front of that many people in my life, and it was just an experience. And then from there, me and DJ, we just clicked, became boys, and we started wrestling each other a lot more, a lot up on the stage. You know, had a few matches at Championship Wrestling from Hollywood, and it just kept going and going. And like last year, him and I got into like another little rivalry where we wrestled, I think, 3 more times last year or something like that, and we moved in with each other. Last summer, I had got into like a shitty situation. I was like left homeless and stuff like that. I was engaged, thought I was going to marry the love of my life, and she like ghosted me. I had nowhere to go. I had the house that I owned. I was renting it out to a friend because I was in the process of buying another house for her and I just got screwed out of that. And Doug opened up his house to me. I slept on his couch for a week. We both left to New York for an Evolve tryout. We wrestled in New York at another company. We came back and we were like, dude, let's just get an apartment together. And from there, we got an apartment in Hollywood. So we've been pretty much roommates for like almost a year now.
Oh, man, that's cool. You guys got each other's back like that. Championship Wrestling from Hollywood, right here, they really help kind of prepare you for like TV matches and stuff like that.
So for me, I love wrestling at Championship Wrestling from Hollywood. I'm super grateful for, you know, David Marquez and Yuma and Angelo and Nick and everybody that was involved back there that was like, let's bring Danny in. And I made my debut in 2015 for Champions from Hollywood. So, like, I was a year in, and they had hit me up, and they were like, we want to bring you as a tag team. And we want you to be Puerto Ricans from New York, and we want you to talk a lot of crap and have a lot of fun, and I was all for it. I've been wrestling with Championship Wrestling from Hollywood ever since, and I love it there, man. And the production, the TV time, just being able to learn how to work the cameras and run the ropes the right way and where to do your moves so that the camera picks it up, and the facials, and being able to cut a promo on the spot, being able to talk on the mic in front of a live audience, in front of a live crowd, stuff like that. Like, that's what Championship Wrestling from Hollywood prepares you for. And some people like say negative things about it, but for me, like, I have nothing but positive things to say, because when I go wrestle at other places and there's like cameras, or they're doing like live streams for Twitch, or they're doing live streams for Fight TV or whatever, like, some of these guys, you know, on the indies, they don't know how to, like, work a camera, you know? Like, they don't know how to run hard cam. And, like, I'm trying to, you know, it's like, wow, like, it makes me feel like light years ahead of people because of the training that I got from, like, Yuma and Joey Ryan and Dave Marquez and Peter Avalon and, you know, all the other guys that are back there running things. Like, it's very beneficial, especially for somebody who's as young as I was when I started wrestling there, to learn the right way how to work, you know, how to use the cameras and stuff like that, because that's your money, man. Like, yeah, there may be 50, 100 people, 200 people, 2,000 people in attendance, but, you know, there's way more than that watching at home, hopefully, you know, and that's what you got, that's what you make your money at. I'm forever grateful for Championship Wrestling from Hollywood.
Absolutely. You've done some stunt work, but you were also on your IMDb page, I saw that you were you wrote and produced something too. Did I see that right?
Yes. So ever since I was younger, I had a creative mind. I've always been wanting to do more. I never closed any door. Something that I was always good at when I was younger was writing. And so recently, in November, in the end of October, I started writing a project called TNT, which was it was a boxing film, and it was led by females. And every female in the movie is a stunt woman or an action actress, so they act and they do stunts. And they're all part of the team of girls that I train with, stunts and stuff like that. So I wrote this movie about a sister and a brother who lost their father, and the sister's a boxer, but she's a hothead. And her older brother is pretty much trying to, like, keep her straight and narrow, and they gave us some things, and I wrote this. I sent the script to everybody that I wanted to be a part of it. They read it. They were down. And two of my best friends, Juliana Montalve and Ruth Marie Conde, like, I had them in the film, and my other homegirl, Lynn, they starred in it, and I went out there. I played the brother. My daughter was in the movie, too, and I had pretty much everybody that I trained with part of this film, and it went really well. And it's actually in post-production right now. It's a short film. It's about 15 minutes long, and it's about family. It's about fighting. It's about honor. And it's cool because I was the stunt coordinator. I coordinated all the stunts. I coordinated all the fights. And we had some people come out and shoot it, and yeah, it went well. For my first project, I learned a lot. Everybody involved learned a lot, and I think that was something that I'm forever grateful for. I actually just finished writing another project right now. It's about the coronavirus, and you know, I got actor Saeed Bashrea, who was in Iron Man. Don't mess with Don't. He's basically the Egyptian actor that gets typecasted as all the.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's the guy that pretty much kidnapped Robert Downey Jr., put him in the cave.
Right.
He's a good friend of mine, and he's going to be in the movie. And,
that's awesome.
You know, I've been working and talking a lot with Doug Jones, another friend of mine. And, you know, Doug Jones from Hellboy and Shape of Water and Hocus Pocus and all those movies.
Absolutely.
I've been talking to a lot of people. And so this coronavirus movie that I wrote, we're going to be shooting it soon, and hopefully, depending on how this pandemic goes. And, yeah, it should be another short film, maybe 10 minutes long. And I'm just trying to put a lot of content out there. I do a lot of short little fight scenes. I come up with the choreography. Me and my friends go out. We come up with a little story, and we go shoot it, and we fight, and we just have fun. And my daughter, she's acting too now.
Oh, man.
And a commercial just came out on TV yesterday, just aired on national TV. It's a General Mills cereal commercial. And
my voice is not how I
There you go.
It's a General Mills cereal commercial with trolls, and yeah, they're promoting the new Trolls movie that's coming out, and she's like in the shopping cart, and they all transform into like little trolls and promote the movie. So my daughter's doing that, and she's going on through a lot of auditions. She has like 3 or 4 auditions a week. She's like killing it right now.
Wow.
Yeah, she's doing a lot more than me. She's picked next month. So.
Well, you guys are definitely staying active during this time. So if they're canceling shows, you guys aren't gonna like waste time. You'll do other things.
Yeah. We can't, man. We can't let this thing keep us down. We got to be safe, be smart, be healthy. But if we can't be out there doing stuff, we need to be writing project after project, or training, or doing push-ups in the house, and doing her math homework and stuff like that, and watching Disney movies, and just you know, okay, we'll just watch Disney movies.
God, I saw a video with you on YouTube where you said you try and make the most out of all of the 24 hours in a day, and you're not kidding. If one thing's not going on, you're on to the next, and just keeping busy, which is good to hear.
Yeah, I think that was a video that the Marine Corps did on me. Being a wrestler and Marine and stuff like that. Yep. You have 86,400 seconds in a day, baby. What you doing with them, you know?
It's funny because I've been talking to people who like don't have anything to do, but like my other line of work, I deliver bread, and stores are empty right now, so I'm constantly busy with that. And the other thing I'm doing is podcasting, and I got a ton of wrestlers that are willing to do interviews now because no one's doing anything. So it's like I've never been busier myself, you know? Yeah,
man. Everybody's like, well, if we can't like do a wrestle, might as well do a podcast, promote ourselves some kind of way, do some kind of content. Excuse me. I'm also in school right now, so it's like I'm in acting school, and we have like, since the schools are shut down, we got to do like live video chat with the teachers and stuff like that. And yeah, man, it never ends.
It's funny because everybody here is working from school when you're in college, and they're like, oh, that must be awesome. But you're like, no, because I have to fit it into my personal time, and it can go even longer than a classroom because you really want to get that information the right way.
Yep, and it's different. It's not like I'm doing math or English or like social studies. Like, it's acting, so now we have to try to act over like the camera, and our scene partners are like somewhere else, and it's just like it's not the same, but we're trying, you know.
Yeah, you got to make do the best the situation gives you.
Yep.
All right.
The speech is just gonna work.
All right, Danny. So obviously we learned today is you are a very goal-oriented person. You're very versatile. Final question. In the meantime, what are your future goals that you want to achieve this year, maybe?
Well, originally, when this year came into it, I wanted it to be, you know, I had a 2020 vision, and I just really wanted to get out there more, wrestle for a lot of new different companies, promote myself more, you know, and hopefully sign a contract with a major company, you know, and with this whole pandemic happening, it's probably going to set some of that stuff back. But as of right now, I'm going to keep pushing forward. I want to, you know, book another commercial or two, shoot this movie, help my daughter get into a couple more commercials. And, you know, I wanted to sign to a talent agency. We both got signed, so I knocked those goals off my list. And just got to keep pushing forward, always thinking of new ways, new things, weight goals, health goals, diet goals, stuff like that. I'm just always trying to, once I complete something, just push to the next one. So
awesome,
Amazing.
man.
Thank you.
You were a fantastic interview. That was great, man.
Thank
You
you
ever
so much.
need anything to promote, you call us anytime. No worries, man.
yeah, can I just plug my social media real quick if you don't
Oh,
mind?
yeah. I meant to do that. Go ahead. You're so good. We forgot about it. Go ahead, man. Do it.
I just want everybody to follow me on Twitter or Instagram at Danny Limelight. DANNY LINELIGHT. And if you want to see what my daughter's doing, she's killing it. Hers is at Leafy Rivera, LEESIRIVERA.
All right, man.
Follow me on Instagram and TikTok.
All right. That's awesome, man. All right. What a pro. That's
Yeah,
great.
thank you for your time and thanks for joining us tonight.
Yeah, both of you.
Thanks for having me, guys.
All right. You guys have a great night. Bye.
Bye.
All right, so that wraps us up for this week. Thank you again for listening to the Working Fans Podcast. So as always, you can find us on Twitter at FansWorking. Our Facebook page is Working Fans Wrestling Pod. We have email where you can reach out to us and let us know what you think also. That's workingfanswrestlingpod@gmail.com. Follow us on Instagram, workingfanswrestling_pod. And then as always, please continue to listen to us on Anchor.fm, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Breaker, Overcast, Pocket Cast, Radio Public, all your major platforms. If you're following us on Apple Podcasts, which we are also on now, and YouTube, please make sure you subscribe and give us a 5-star rating. It helps us bring you these podcasts where we get to talk to you and talk with you every week.